Yes, we are recording. Welcome back. Last lesson of the quadratics unit. Here we go. Super easy. Discriminant. Okay. So everyone should write the word discriminant at the top to title this lesson, and here it is. Everyone go ahead and you're writing this as I'm writing it. Here we go. Okay. So the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. And then I want you to go ahead, use another color, hold on a second. I need to make sure. Caden, is this in the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to go ahead and bubble. Okay. The b squared minus 4ac that's inside of the, what do you call it? The radicand. Okay, and yes, put the smiley face, put the star, put the heart, go for it. Look alive, be enthusiastic. Moving on. Okay, so what is the discriminant? The discriminant is exactly this. The b squared minus 4ac. And today's lesson, okay, we need to know how to decipher between the two situations, okay? Here it is. We use the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic in standard form, okay? To solve and to find what are the solutions. What are the exact solutions? You use the quadratic formula to do that. But what you use the discriminant to do, okay, is you use the discriminant to determine how many solutions there are. Not exactly what the solution is, okay, but just how many solutions there are. What do I mean by that? So let's take a look here, okay? Using the discriminant, okay? We're going to have 3 different examples, okay? But you're using the discriminant to determine if you have 1 solution, no solution, or 2 solutions for that quadratic. This is a question on the EOC, which is an easy thing for you to do, and it'll even say use the discriminant to determine how many solutions this quadratic has. So when you hear discriminant, ding, 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 this is what should be going on in your mind, okay? So, super simple. Everyone go ahead and write the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. That's what it is, right? And with every formula, we do what? We write the formula and then rewrite it with the empties. So here we go, b squared minus 4 times empty times empty. So here are 1, 2, and 3 examples, okay? And so here we go. Here's our first example, x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. Yes, again, because you're going to get examples that I created your activity this morning. So in the activity, some of these are not going to be equal to 0. So you have to move whatever you need to move to make sure that it's equal to 0 before you can determine what is your A, what is your B, or what is your C. Okay? So even though it's not there, hold please. Where is it? Make it larger. Hold please. Make it bigger. Here we go. Okay? There we go. Let's just look at this one. Okay? And freeze it. Freeze. Here we go. Okay, so here is and this is already done for you, but I've got some examples below that we're going to do together. Okay, so but this is muy rápido, pretty fast. Here we go. As you can see, here's our little discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. Right there it is. It says use the discriminant to determine how many solutions, okay, this quadratic has. All you need to know is what is the A, what is the B, what is the C. Well, even though it's not there, you know there's a 1 there, and you can put A, B, and C above it, okay? And then you just, what goes here, the B, minus negative 4 times A, the 1 goes here, and the C is a positive 5 goes here. And when you do the math, your result is a negative 16, okay? So on the side, I'm going to write it over here. When you get, everybody write the word result. Am I still on the screen? Can you still see this when I'm writing it? Okay, thank you. Okay. the result from the discriminant, okay? If you get a negative number, and put the colon, negative number, okay? When you get a negative number, after you do the math, okay? And Shazam, there we have a negative 16. When you do the math, plugging in your A, your B, and your C into this discriminant, when you do the math and you get a negative number for your result, then you have 0 solutions, okay? You have 0 solutions, okay? Now, look at the graph here. When you get a negative number, obviously you can see that this parabola, okay, doesn't even touch the x-axis. So, since it doesn't even touch the x-axis, that is 0 solutions. Again, we are only using the discriminant, okay, to find the number of solutions. Here's our next example here, okay? So even, no, it's not there. You know there's a 1 there. So this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. Okay? You put your B here, your A, and your C, do the math, and what was the result? The result was 0. So when you're under the results, okay, you're going to write 0. Okay? When you get a 0 after you use the discriminant, okay, and you do the math, after you use the discriminant, if you get a 0, then you know you have 1 solution. Look at the graph, okay? Because your x value, it's touching the x-axis at 1 point, okay? So that would be 1 solution, okay? And then finally, let me erase this over here. Okay, here's our last example. So our A value is greater than 1. That's our A, that's our B, and that's our C. Okay? So you take the B, the A, and the C, put it in, do the math, and what did we get? We got a positive number, Okay, so in your results, everyone write positive. Okay? If you get, you already wrote discriminant. So it's discriminant result, okay? You do the math, you get a negative number, there's no solutions. You do the math, you get a 0, that means 1 solution. You do the math in the discriminant, you do the math, you get a positive number, this is a positive 33. When you get a positive result, okay, that means 2 solutions. Super easy.
Can you get
okay?
Can you get 3 solutions? No.
No. Okay, so did everyone write this down? Because I have to move to the next screen real quick, okay? So, you can stop and rewind and all that good stuff. Oh, one point I need to make real quick, even though you guys already know it, okay? If this was, let's look at this one again. If this actually said x squared plus 2x equals negative 5, what's the problem here? What should the quadratic be set equal to?
Make it equal to 0.
It needs to be equal to 0.
Yes,
so what is this equal to right now?
Negative
5. What's the only step we have to do to make sure that this is equal to 0? The opposite of what we were given, which is we have to add 5 to both sides. Those cancel, and now we have x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. Now we have our A, we have our B, and have our C. That is, you guys, that is the easiest step that the students most forget. Okay? When they see equal to like a negative number or something like that, they look at it and they're like, I haven't seen that before, because it's not set equal to 0. So make sure that you remember that if you get a situation like that, that you have to make sure that the quadratic is set equal to 0, so you know what your A, your B, and your C is. Okay, so we have, it's not difficult at all. So let's look at our example here. Okay? Here it is. And you know what? This example is done for you, but we're going to do this one together. Okay, so I'm going to freeze it. So let's take a look up here. You have 4x squared plus 5x equals -3. What's the problem? It's not equal to 0. Yes, Ian.
If you get a positive
Result,
yeah, what is it?
2 solutions.
Two solutions.
Positive result. So let's review that. Negative result, no
Zero.
solution. No solution.
No,
Or
no,
0. Okay?
No
If you do the math with the discriminant and you get 0 as your result, that is 1 solution.
no. Oh, no.
And then if you get a positive number as your result, that means 2 solutions. Okay? So what did they do? They added 3 to both sides, right? You have to do the opposite of what you were given. You don't have to write this down, just look. And here, that's all we had to do was add 3 to both sides to get this. So now we know what our A, our B, and our C is. Okay? They plugged it into the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, and they got a -23. How many solutions do we have?
1.
Zero.
Zero solutions.
No,
Okay. You should look at your results. We just wrote down the results, right? And the results, you guys,
Big brain.
I'm recording. Let's remember.
Damn, but y'all so
Okay,
rude.
so when it's a negative number, it's 0 solutions. When it's equal to 0, it's 1 solution. When you have a positive result, it's 2 solutions. So I'm going to scroll it down, and I want you to do this one yourself, okay? So let's scroll. I'm going to scroll it down.
Is that an example?
Yeah.
Didn't you freeze it?
Freeze. Here we are. So everyone do 4A right here. Use the Oh, Thomas and Levante, please sit up. Thank you. Okay, here it is. And remember, the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Okay? Okay, so we rewrite it with the empties. I may need some calculator help, okay? And let's make sure we know what our A, B, and C is. So we know what our A, we know what our B, and we know what our C is. And we never know what we're going to get, okay? Until we plug it in and do the math, okay? So, and when we do the math, we're always following back to the first week of school, order of operations. Yes, we are. Fabulous. So what is our B? What's our B? What goes here?
2x. 11. Oh.
Our B
11.
term is 11.
Oh my god.
Okay. What is our A term up here?
2.
Esmeralda? No, just the number. Just the
2.
2. Okay. And then what is our C term?
15.
15. I'm going to need some help, people, with the calculator.
121.
Okay, yes. So 11 squared is 121. Thank you, Myla Joy. And then -4 times 2 is a -8. Now, a negative times a positive gives you a negative. Can anyone tell me what 8 times 15 is? Is it 120?
120.
Okay.
It's 120.
So now, all we have to do is subtract, and we got what?
1.
Did we get a positive result?
Yes. Yeah.
How many solutions do we have? 2 solutions.
A la verga.
Okay? That's it. Lovely bell schedule, fabulous. And that's a wrap, Mr. Caden. Thank you.
Hooray.